and resources for the wrestling rants, baby! Yeah. Let's get locked and loaded and ready to go for a two-for today on Thursday. We're going to first talk about the midweek must-see match rant extravaganza this week. We got a lot of wrestling matches to talk about in this one. And then we rewind back to retrospective, this day in wrestling, June 29th. Lots to talk about on this day in wrestling as well. Also, speaking of the retrospective kind of theme, I talked about it in the previous rant, but coming soon, folks, Monday Nitro Rewind, where yours truly, Red Shed, Sin City Steve from the Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting. We will be joining on a weekly endeavor to check out each and every episode of Monday Nitro from the beginning onward. This is kind of, sort of, in celebration of the fact that we have Collision now. The idea came to the fold of, hey, let's go check out Nitro. Let's rewind history and check everything out in Rewind. So that'll be essentially part of the retrospective series. We've got to figure out when exactly we're dropping that, but it's probably going to be on Saturdays. We may even drop it on a Throwback Thursday right here, retrospective Thursdays on Wrestling Rants. But what's cool about it as well is that you can watch along with us as the show is going on. We're doing kind of commentary over it as the show is going on. We'll provide a link where you could check it out maybe on another device as you listen to us. There's lots of different options with this concept we're doing. Essentially, it's a watch-along of all the old Monday Nitros starting from the beginning. So we'll be talking about that more coming ahead here. That may be dropping. Next time you know it, we're going to be locked and ready to go with Monday Nitro Rewind. All right, let's go. Let's get it going. Midweek must-see matches for this past week, June 22nd through the 28th, and what a week it was. We have a lot of strong contenders here for really and truly must-see matches this week, particularly from Forbidden Door. We talked about it on that Mega Rant a few days ago. That show was straight fire with 5, at least 4-star matches that were on that card. Basically, you're looking at half of the regular pay-per-view with a 4-star match or better. That's phenomenal. Anyway, you slice it. So let's get into all of the details. Midweek must-see matches. We're gonna roll back to last Thursday. Impact, unfortunately, didn't really have anything that I would say is must-see, unfortunately. But Ring of Honor had a few matches that I really feel stepped up in the ring. I was there live at the Collision taping in Chicago a few weeks ago when these were taped. So I may be a little biased, but I still think, even watching these back last week, that these were worth taking a look at, because these were both 3 3/4 to 4-star matches, both separately, or 2 matches on the Ring of Honor broadcast. First one was Gringo Loco, not the Gringo logo, Gringo Loco, Chicago's own, against Willie Mack. This actually was the opener at the event at the United Center. This is the first match that dropped the night before Collision even started. They taped some Ring of Honor before. This was the opener, absolutely the opener of that taping. And what a match it was. Top rope Spanish Fly by Gringo Loco to Willie Mack for the finish. Like I said, 3 3/4 stars, bordering on 4 stars. Then we moved to the main event of Ring of Honor, and also the last match on the entire taping from the United Center. And this was the Ring of Honor Women's Championship in a Chicago street fight that did not disappoint, with Athena and Kiera Hogan. Wow. Going into this match, first and foremost, there was hardly anybody at the United Center by this point. We were already, I want to say 4.5 hours deep into the taping at this point. It was an enduring taping for sure. Hardly anybody was left by the end of it, but those who stayed got a hell of a match with Athena and Kiera, with tacks, with tables, with chairs, a chair kind of scaffolding thing that they took a suplex, and that was basically the finish. The tack spots, the garbage can spots, the ladder spots. Need I go on? This was quite a war between these two. That kind of felt like maybe it was the blow-off, but time will tell on this one. Athena over Kiera Hogan, Ring of Honor, 4 stars. Check it out. On the 23rd, not a whole lot was going on. I couldn't say anything on Rampage was must-see. The opener maybe was worth a look. That was Chaos and Yo against the United Empire, including Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland. That's a maybe sort of for Rampage. On SmackDown, the in-ring wasn't super on this match, but I thought it overachieved a little bit, and this was the unification women's tag title match between Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, and Isla Dawn and Alba Fire from NXT, the NXT Tag Champions. Now those NXT Tag Championships are pretty much no more. They got unified with the regular Women's Tag Championships. And I put that on the list here because it kind of overachieved a little bit. And there's significance here that this was a unification match. And frankly, I don't know what they'll do with Isla Dawn and Alba Fire at this point. I hope they don't kind of drop them like a bad habit. I'm fearing a vibe here between the NXT Tag Champions from the women's side getting merged with the other Women's Tag Championship, and then pair that with the fact that Carmelo Hayes lost on Monday on Raw. I feel like Vince McMahon is trying to get his mitts into creative again here and trying to affect NXT overness, essentially. I hope I'm paranoid on this, but I guess time will tell, as they always say in the business. Next day, Saturday the 24th, we had Collision live from Toronto, the nice lead-in to Forbidden Door. A couple matches of note, very similar to the first Collision episode, where I believe I had also talked about 2 particular matches on that show. Andrade, once again, showing up and working his ass off against another member of the House of Black, Brody King. I didn't care for the finish. It was a DQ finish, which is very rare that you see that in AEW. But boy, the crux of this match was ultra physical. Then also the 8-man tag main event. CM Punk, FTR, Ricky Starks, Bullet Club Gold, and the Guns. Nice match. Just as good as the 6-man from the week before, I feel like. Maybe a peg down. I'd maybe go 3 3/4 stars on this one, but still, worthwhile match to check out. I think the Andrade match with Brody King also, I'd go probably 3 3/4 on that one. Finish definitely affected on that match. Then we move to the big old goddamn motherfucking Forbidden Door. What a pay-per-view. I can't stop talking about how awesome this show was. Let's just roll it down. I don't ever remember a pay-per-view, for example, that literally had this going for it. We had a 4-star match. We had a 4 1/4 star match. We had a 4 1/2 star match. We had a 4 3/4 star match, and we had a 5-star match. Like I said, I do not ever remember watching a pay-per-view with those types of match star ratings. That's like boom, 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 boom. Really impressive. So the 4-star match was the International Title 4-Way with Orange Cassidy winning that one. Good, solid work. Lots of crisp sequences between the 4 guys. I thought it was really well laid out. The 4 1/4 star match was CM Punk against Satoshi Kojima. A physical, wild brawl at times that really delivered, especially for Punk's first match back as a single. I thought, damn, just great stuff. The 4 1/2 star match was the 10-man tag with the Elite, Ishii, and Kingston against the BCC, Takeshita. Man, what can you say about this match? And Shota Umino. Just an all out spectacle brawl of a match. Stuff with Ishii, you talked about it already ad nauseum. Just a lot of really good physical sequences in this match. Just the pace of this match was great. What else can you say? This was awesome. Straight awesome match. 4 3/4 star match was that Bryan Danielson and Kazuchika Okada match, which I have to make a correction on from the Mega Rant on Forbidden Door. I said Bryan Danielson worked 18 more minutes after the injury. I actually got that twisted. He already had worked 18 minutes, got the injury where he broke his freaking forearm, a complete break, and worked 10 more minutes after that. I mean, what can you say about Bryan Danielson? And as he was doing that, working those 10 minutes with that injury, you could tell he was definitely favoring the arm, but he didn't really let it slow down any part of the match, really. And it still really delivered those last 10 minutes. Just an amazing, amazing performance. And it was also cool as hell to hear this music that I got playing in the background when Danielson came up. Europe's the final countdown, returning for Bryan Danielson, at least at this point, one time only. But we'll see if it returns down the road. And then we get our 5-star match. I went 5-star plus. Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega. My God, what a match. Just a physically tolling match between both guys. The bloodshed, the brawling, the violence, the spectacle of it, the Tiger Driver 91 spot. My God, unfucking believable. This may be in a whole new category of itself by the end of the year. We'll see where it goes. But that was just Forbidden Door. We had 5 must-see matches out of the 10 on that main pay-per-view card. God damn, how about that? Moving to the next day on Raw on the 26th. I have to say, the last hour of Raw, the finishes were a bit questionable, particularly the finish between Finn Balor and Carmelo Hayes. I was not feeling. I did not feel like Carmelo Hayes should have been losing to Finn Balor clean. He's the fucking NXT champion, for fuck's sake. But the match itself was solid work. The Raw standards, particularly, also the Damian Priest Cody Rhodes match. Again, for Raw standards, very, very solid. Sami Zayn and Gunther also, I thought, not bad at all. All in all, that third hour, I thought was strong in-ring. Finishes, maybe questionable, also in that Zayn-Gunther match. Probably would have done a different finish than that, but it is what it is. Let's go to the 27th. That was NXT the other night, and one match really stood out that I thought going into it had the potential. It was the Heritage Cup match between Nathan Frazier, and Dragon Lee. This was awesome. This was head and shoulders the best NXT Heritage Cup match I've ever seen. 5 rounds, really good action, really good sequences. Do yourself a favor and find this match if you didn't watch NXT, which, you know, there wasn't a whole lot else to go on that Gold Rush episode, but boy, oh boy, this match was a home run. Then moving on to Dynamite last night from, I think it was Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. The little trivia fact, where the first televised Royal Rumble was held, as a matter of fact, in this arena, which looked like it hadn't had any renovations done since 1988, which was weird. But we had really 2 matches, and in typical Dynamite formula, the opener and the main event delivered. The opener was Tomohiro Ishii against Jon Moxley. The match I kind of thought we were going to see at Forbidden Door. Got it on Dynamite. It was a banger for sure. Speaking of banging, there was a lot of headbutts in that match that were quite scary to see. Moxley was getting hardway opened up by those as well. So, and here is my boy Cheddar, the mascot for Wrestling Rants, behind me here. Once again joining us. But boy, that match was fucking awesome as an opener for Dynamite. Then we got to Sting and Darby Allin in the main event against Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. Once again, I was impressed. I thought Sting would be moving at slow motion pace here. Instead, he did the opposite of it. That spot from the ladder to the table onto Sammy Guevara. Ouch, 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 ouch. Apparently Sting maybe busted a tooth or popped open his mouth. I think he said he had stitches in his lip and maybe lost a tooth from that spot. What can you say about Sting? But I do think by the end of the year it's time for him to hang it up. But this match was solid. I'd go 3 3/4 stars. The Moxley Ishii match, probably a 4 1/4 star match on that one. Damn. And also to note on that Heritage Cup, I'd go 4 stars on that match. I really enjoyed that one. Ultimately, the must-see match of the week is, of course, Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, United States Championship, Forbidden Door. But there is like five or six other matches that truly, really, I would strongly suggest checking out here. That Forbidden Door card, if you haven't seen it yet. The stuff from Dynamite, stuff from NXT, that Frazier Dragon Lee match as well. What can you say? Really good week in the world of wrestling with a lot of must-see matches. Come on back, folks. Ranch Respected is right around the corner tonight. Right here, Wrestling Rants. Bye!